ready to go.
Okay, so we're here in Reading this afternoon at RG1 with Richie Campbell, and some of you know him as AKA Tyrone, but his CV is endless, the list of credits are endless, the firm, the bill, you name it, the man's been in it. So literally today, the young people down here in Reading have been really looking forward to you coming down, having a chat, and the old improv that you did with Tyrone was absolutely amazing. So how did you find the young people down here in Reading as part of the Project Postcode initiative?
Very good, they were very engaged. They asked the right questions. You know, sometimes, like you're saying, you know, you're in those situations where people think, oh, can I ask this, can I ask that? But they were asking a lot of questions that were going to benefit them with their pieces and stuff. That's what I found really interesting as well.
Okay. You do a lot of TIE stuff. You sort of go, when Newcastle recently doing similar stuff around knife crime and stuff like that. What's your kind of take on the epidemic at the moment? And or would you see it as an epidemic or the issues pertaining to knife crime with young people in 21st century Britain?
I think a lot of it is just that education of it. From what I found anyway, there's a lack of people either talking about it or discussing it. I mean, the program that we did recently, I was saying that you know, we were talking about how much impact a butter knife can do, and these kids were like oblivious to it. They're like, yeah, when people talk about knife crime, they're talking about big machetes or big knives like this and all this kind of stuff, and we were saying that no, it's actually just the intent to have an object that can harm. That's the reality of it, and a lot of them were kind of, they couldn't fathom it. They were a bit like, really, a butter knife? And I think it is that education of knowing the impact and what it can do, not just to yourself, but to it's a spiral, you know, to families. I was a part of something called Random, which was on Channel 4, and that looked at people, looked at the family of someone who died. So we didn't even discuss how that person died. It was just the family and the hurt and the grief that they went through. So it's a big issue, and I do think we need to address it. And I think we have to kind of hit it head on. Otherwise, you know, it's just going to be if we just keep washing over it, it's never going to be resolved.
Okay, so the stuff like what Project Postcode is doing in terms of education and training the young people using film and media as a mechanism of engagement, do you see that as the way forward?
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, like, I come from a place which was very improvisational. I went to Anna Shears, and essentially you guys are doing the same thing. It's just now we're in a place where we've got the media, so we can use the cameras, we can do all those kind of things. Whereas we literally were kids who we were hungry for something. We didn't know how to get into the industry, and her first thing was, right, you come, you learn some kind of trade stuff, you learn what happens on set and all that kind of stuff. But essentially, you're just being creative, and then in doing that, the casting people would come in and you'd get chosen to go and do stuff, and then before you know it, you're on set, you're learning on the job. And I think that's what will be brilliant for what you guys are doing with these kids, because they're coming in, they're being creative, they're making their own little movies, and when they see that final, the final project, that's what can propel them to say, do you know what, I've done it here, I can actually go and do it on a bigger scale.
Absolutely. So finally, what does the future hold for you, Richie? What are you up to? What's coming up?
Work-wise, we've got I've got something on Sky Atlantic with Steve Coogan. He's brought back his Alan Partridge character, which it's very funny. It was new to me. It's a different kind of comedy. It's not the kind of another hood comedy. It's very subtle, and which is nice. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, he brings me in. He's doing a film, so I'm hoping that the character stays for the film. But yeah, we've got Top Boy 2 is filming next about 3 months' time, I think.
With Ashley and
Kanan, yeah, they're all still there.
Okay.
I have a film coming out called Get Lucky, which is kind of like a heist movie.
Oh, okay.
British heist movie. That comes out, I think, September time.
Right. Who's producing that movie?
Gateway Pictures, Terry Stone.
Yes.
Terry Stone, yes. It's got TJ Ramini, who's written it. He was in The Bill with us. He played PC Zane the Deer.
Right. Yes.
It's got Craig Fairbrass.
Yes.
He's known the old gangster guy.
Yeah, that's right.
A guy called Luke Treadway, who's a really good young actor. He was in Attack the Block.
Right. Okay.
But he's done a lot of good films. Clash of the Titans. He was in. He's done a lot of really good films. He plays the lead in that. Emily Attack, who was part of the In-Betweeners.
Yes.
So it's a really good, fresh, young cast.
Brilliant.
So that comes out September time. So yeah, just trying to keep busy. Keep busy,
But listen, thank you so much for coming down today. I know the young people, we all appreciate down here in Reading. I'm really glad, and hopefully it won't be too long before you pop back and say hello to the young people again. And work with them.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I was saying to some of them. You know, you never know.
Absolutely.
Tomorrow you could be playing my brother.
Thanks again for your
Good
time.
stuff.
Cheers.